Welcome to the first Great American Crawl of 2025.
And we are at Katemcy Rocks in Mason, Texas.
You cracked my windshield.
So we spent Thursday and Friday over at Wolf Caves. That's the first park that we went to. And ironically, Wolf Caves and Katemcy Rocks share a property line. So they actually, there's spots where you can be at both parks where you can see the other park. But you know, they're uniquely different in their own way, which is insane considering they are literally next door.
Yeah, the questions were, which one do you like better? I'm like,
right, you know, they
do have their little different things, but they are like the same rock, yeah. Both parks are very similar. The grip is very similar. And everything about these two is very technical, slow going, good suspension, good tires, good everything, and a good spotter.
Coming back to Texas, I've been to K2 before. The grip here is insane compared to what we have here, where I have in Michigan and kind of the East Coast, what we're kind of used to.
We're going to check all our participants.
We got our drivers meeting at the pavilion, and you know, that was so awesome. You know, at K2, we had Shane Chapman and Randy had all the guides and everything for us, everybody we could possibly need over every difficulty level.
What is like our third year being down there?
Yeah, third year we've done here. And I'm sure we'll be back. You know, they're just such easy people to work with, and the venue's set up so nice.
They have so many events down there. They know.
They've got the process down.
They got it down. So they know everything. It's like boom, boom, boom.
You know, so man, we jumped in rigs, you know, and we beat feet out of there and headed straight for Hannibal Lector. Straight up, so we ain't trying to make that left.
That left looks easy, honestly. Once you get up there, I'm just worried about this hole on my side.
I'm taking your word that we're good over there.
No clue. Yeah, so Hannibal Lector has a couple lines. You got one that you gotta kind of go up sideways, you got a water hole down here, and it's kind of technical, and there's a couple little humps there that you kind of get your tires to stick on. And if you slide off of it, well, then you're just rear diff. Split off of that, and then you lost some air in that one tire.
Hey, you're losing air. We're actually getting air in the tire now. Andy needs to be winched out.
So while you're doing that, then Nick wanted to go up the buggy line. Well, I was just like, well, come on, Nick. And so he got over there and was playing on that, chewing on it. And then I look over and all of a sudden you just blew it.
And it felt really, really good climbing forward, and it didn't feel like it was much effort. And it literally idled up it. I'm like, what the hell was the problem before we lost air? I'm like, what changed here? But yeah, it got up it, and I beat Nick to the top, which is all I really cared about.
Yeah, well, we knew that was gonna happen, but yeah.
I looked at that, and a bunch of people had drug dirt up on it by the time it was my turn. It scared me.
So, I mean, the biggest driving force for that obstacle being so difficult is for the fact that you have two, well, depending on what line you take, but for most of it, you have two big boulders that are just straight diff catchers.
Yeah.
And you add a little bit of water that's been out there because we had a little bit of rain.
Yeah. My seats, no.
You might get the front up and then like your rear catches, and then you're kind of dead in the water at that point.
It's steep. It gets steep fast.
Yep.
Is what it does. Is it goes straight from dirt straight up, and at some point, if you don't have the brake over, something's going to catch.
Yep.
You know.
I thought I had it. I was going up a little bit. It was going, the stickies were sticking. And then I felt myself roll back into a really big rock and my hat flew up. It was that drastic. I don't think I was diffed out. The camera will probably say I was diffed out.
You were actually.
Dennis, don't say that. I don't think I was diffed out. Unfortunately, I had to pull cable.
Go passenger.
I see the line. It looks like if you have like a good spotter, some navigation, you can make it up. It does. It doesn't look as intimidating when you're looking at it. But as soon as you get up there, you realize real quickly you made a bad call. I'm speaking for myself. But I'd say it was a great try. I didn't make it up, but
It's the try that counts.
it's the try that counts. E for effort.
Yeah, we were headed for King of the Hill, and then there was like one little obstacle before that. Queen Throne, another just straight up skid plater.
And here's the, so you're coming up that, okay, and you've got, you know, about like this, and it doesn't feel good. No. But then over to the left, the rock, if you go further left, the rock you have to climb is this much taller.
Forward. Bump or no bump? Bump or no bump?
No bump. We can follow everything. Strike that down. There you go. Now drive straight out.
Okay. Thank
Just
you.
like that.
Appreciate it.
So Jesse from Hella Bad Broncos has spotted me because I tried the shallower line at first, and he's like, man, your wheelbase, you're gonna belly on this thing hard.
Do you have a suck down winch?
It's not hooked up.
He goes, back off it. He goes, I'm gonna bring you up further left. Put your driver's side to, I go, oh. So in other words, we're gonna go from, this just felt really shitty, and you're up there saying, not shitty enough. Just wait till we pull you up here again.
The top is here, and you're over here at another 3 foot higher than the top.
Yeah, I'm like, we were already leaning this way. Now you want to pick the driver's side up higher.
Yeah.
And that's when I looked over at you. I go, can I just send it?
Get that momentum, you can try that.
Bill, we good to bump?
And you're like, because I was not about to back off that the way he wanted me to.
I know, because you're over.
Yeah. I saw when I walked back to that coming up was Chris Kreiner.
I get up there, and the problem with it is at the very top of it, where it breaks over, there's a rock that comes up, and it's a belly pan catcher, not a diff catcher. It's going to catch your belly pan, and that's what Rock Buggy and Andy also both struggled at because they bellied out on it. And I thought, oh, this is going to be even better for me, right? And so he's like, all right. He's like, turn passenger, and he said, back down. And then he said, all right, you're clear. So I roll back down, we reposition, we go up left. Well, when you go left, it gets even steeper. And I break over, it starts catching the belly again, and I feel the tire lift. And I'm like, oh man, this is not good. But I just could not break over it. But that was pretty wicked. And a few other people was able to make it over it.
It's fine, I'll go around.
All the way driver. Driver. Stay driver all the way.
And then we went on to King of the Hill, which is, that thing's no joke.
Yeah, Nick went up ahead of me. You know, I mean, he rear steer.
Yeah, and then it was like, let's get something big up there.
Yeah, so I said, okay, sure. So once you get up it, it is an immediate, like, 110-degree left-hand
It's not
turn.
that bad. You make your stores.
And the road's this wide.
Oh yeah.
It's this wide.
Hey, I got a passenger that you don't know, so not the time to fuck around. That drop look okay, guys?
We had a few different groups kind of congregated into that spot we were at because they were coming the other way on King. So we're like, hey, you know, let's get out of here. You know, let's try and get as much wheeling in as we can before, you know, a few of us got to get back, start getting food and stuff ready. So we headed over to Plumbers Crack, I believe was the name of the obstacle. So we got into that, and Jesse ended up leading us over there. And you could do loops in it. It was over by school bus and fence line. It was one of the last things we did.
That was probably my favorite part of the day. Like that's little spot, and you literally was circling back over itself multiple times, but everybody was able to get in one spot. We were all able to wheel together, and nobody had to sit and watch. Like it was a big enough area that everybody was able to wheel at the same time.
It's where Cameron and Alex ended up linking back up with us at. At one point in time, Nick was doing something bizarre on there, and Alex had to winch him out of it.
It kind of worked out perfect when I was coming down the hill. I thought Bill was guiding me to go down this obstacle, and he's like, all right, stay there. I'm like, what do you mean stay there?
What am I doing?
No, there's someone going down too.
Oh.
And then I started doing the winch. I'm like, what are we doing here? And then I kind of get out and I see rock bug. I'm like, how did you get here?
Right, because it's straight up and down.
It is, it's straight vertical. So yeah, we hooked up a line to Nick, and he just kind of cruised up that straight vertical wall.
Hey, that last for your first bumper, I was like, back off. I'm so proud of you.
I'm gonna pass out.
She's gonna pass out.
Yeah, so then we decided to take off out of there. Smoking butthole.
We pull up to it, and there's a few people already there watching. You know, there's a few people on the rocks, and it is a very high, tall, for me, East Coast girl here, a big mountain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's giving West Coast vibes. There's no trees around. big rocks, sand. That's how I want to say it, West Coast stuff.
That way?
Then we get in there, and I had Alex up top spotting me. I can tell you the first time I came up that driver's side front tire was way the shit up
I know,
there.
it was like this. It
Yeah,
was crazy.
yeah, it was like that. It didn't feel like that. I think between you and Alex, we were good. And then Nick came over.
He's gonna have to bump it.
Shit, Johnny. No, he ain't.
Right there.
I mean, and I'm vertical. I mean, I am totally vertical. He goes, "You're gonna back up and bump it." I go, "No, the hell, I am not."
I'm still not bumping. I'm standing this vertical.
Right there. Just a little bit. Right there. Listen, don't slap it, just roll into it.
He goes, "Just a little bump." I go, "I will give you 600 RPM." I think I gave him 602 RPM, and it was enough, but
It was, you just kind of rolled it just to get the tire up there, and it stuck. That's what was good. If it didn't, that's where you take a chance on that.
So looking at it, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm okay. And watching a few people do it, I was like, you know, I think I have a shot. Hell yeah! It's a weird size to where you have to drop the rear driver tire. There's the littlest bump, and you have to get that tire on the other side of the bump. And I guess I had slipped, which worked out because then I was then on the other side of the bump. It just wouldn't grab. So mine being a stick, I'm trying to try to keep the idle up, but trying to slow the tire rotation down just to let it spin. Because if you spin too fast, you're gonna start hopping, and you don't want that. At this point, you just gotta stay in it and hope for the best. Back up what? It ended up doing it, it ended up walking it, and so that was really cool. That was awesome. That was probably one of the scariest things I've done, I want to say.
Robert Braun, he gave it a shot too, and he chewed on it for a while. And I don't know the gentleman who was up there was guiding him. Everybody's so helpful.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, oh, I'll guide you.
yeah, welcome to Texas.
You know?
He went up it, and he had been on it long enough that most people would have probably given up.
Yep.
I think, and whatever snapped in him, and I say snapped because Robert doesn't use a lot of throttle. Like
Yeah.
he's a slow crawler, But all of a sudden he had struggled, and then all of a sudden he decided he was going to use what power he had.
Yeah.
And when he did, that was it.
Yeah.
Like he
right up
it.
It is a straight vertical V-notch that will want to pick up your tires and move you sideways.
It's going to pick up your tires.
It will no matter what.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, and you had a major problem with that, right? Yours kept slipping off.
With being so short, like, I mean, I'm sure there's a few factors in there too, different positions and all the stuff, and being a manual kind of makes things difficult.
Oh, yeah.
But kind of going over there, like I used my V-lock rings, I used a sidewall, I used pretty much everything I could to get up there, and it just would not let me go.
No, it was, you were inches from it.
He's a little short.
When he came up that, his tire, I'm like, yeah, it looks good. And he's coming up, and it's his beadlock ring and the little rubber edge of his tire that's holding him on. And finally, he's just like,
hell with it.
I'm done. But hey, so then he had to back all the way out of that thing.
Yeah, that had to be fun.
You know the little V-notch going in there?
Yeah.
I kind of hopped down a little bit, and I turned over. He's laying on his side in that thing. I'm like, what just happened? You were just, all you do is back out. I know it's a V-notch, but you were pretty well lined up. So we end up, everybody jumped in. Everybody standing around jumped in. We pushed him, and I was a hood ornament for a little bit.
You cracked my windshield.
Last one up on the chopping block here.
Oh, wow.
Vince Doyle, and he's, again, super cool guy to wheel with. We wheeled with him a couple times, and I think he's a Texas local here, right?
Yep.
Keep going forward? Yeah, feels fine. Back up, driver. Felt good for a second. Straighten up.
He had a little bit of a hiccup, but
yes, he
honestly, he made it up there. And like talking to him at the bottom, I would talk to him a little bit, and he's like, I don't know, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, his kid's egging him on to do it. And he's like, come on, we gotta do it. He's like, I don't know, right? And he goes up there and puts on the show, and makes it.
Yeah, buddy. Back up. Passenger, back up. Yeah, buddy.
We're here at the end of the day. For Saturday, we have our good old barbecue.
Fantastic first day, over at Katemcy. Great turnout, and again, the way everything flows there, because they're just so used to having these big groups and big events, just makes the process so much easier.
We got some nice homemade chili going on, and we got some really cool prizes this year.
All right, who wants to win something? This one is a 50% off complete power tank kit of your choice.
Last three numbers, 724.
So I've never been to Texas before. I've driven through Texas, and that's been about it. So I've heard really good things about the park out here from a few Cherokee groups I'm in.
It's Texas. How could you not love Texas? So I didn't expect anything less but a great time in Texas.
It's going to be a big year.
It is.
Like, it's 2025 is going to be special for everybody, I think, right?
So big thank you for joining us in the Great American Crawl. Huge thank you to all of our sponsors. Huge thank you again to all the wonderful people at all these parks that let us come in and help us host these events. That's all greatly appreciated. All of the attendees, you know, we look forward. We love hanging out with you guys as we move into year 6. Got next one, we've got a little bit of a break coming up. Next one we've got coming up is gonna be kind of in our stomping grounds. We're gonna be back in the Missouri Ozarks at Flat Nasty Off-Road Park. And we hope to see you guys on the trail soon.
So go to Rockstar Garage on YouTube, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. It's only 5 miles down the road, 30 miles later.
Oh, here we go. He's still bitching about the restaurant from Jeep Invasion in 1993.